Hello, welcome to my channel, Lady D. This will be my video on Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and Justin Baldoni. Sorry I can't pronounce his name properly. So I did my video on Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds when they were doing the premieres, and there's a backlash on Blake Lively. And this is a follow-up video to see how it's going to play out with the court case that's been coming up and all the other things that have going around. So I will start off with Justin's chart first, and then I will go back over with Ryan and Blake's chart. So I've already said a few things in their chart that I could see, and but I'll go back over that quickly. But we'll look more at Justin's chart first to see what we see. I may even do a card reading during this video as well, depending on how much time we have. But I kind of feel like I know what's gonna happen anyway with this court case. So let's share my screen. So this is Justin's chart. Now I found out on the internet his date of his time of birth. So it's saying it's around 8 or 8:34. I saw one website, so I'm going with 8:30. That's what Astro had, and Astro it has like a big database. So hopefully that is the correct timing of him. When I looked before, they didn't have his time of birth, but now they do because it's all happening, I guess. Anyway, so Justin, he is born on the 24th of January, 1984. He's born at 8:30 p.m. in Los Angeles. He's an ascending Virgo, so he comes across as that's why I feel like we see him as like fashion sense, like very detailed in his fashion, and they like to dress nicely. He comes across as being quite a perfectionist person and maybe even a bit nitpicky. Perhaps when his projects, he likes to get it done right and pedantic, perhaps. He's an Aquarian, so he's a bit of he's very humanitarian, caring person, individual. He might be socially awkward. Aquarians are socially awkward people. Probably always thinking ahead, have a vision of the future, and he's probably like been a bit of rebel as well. Aquarians don't like to follow rules. They like to sort of rebel a little bit, but they also detach themselves from situations, and they can see everybody's point of view as well. He has a Scorpio moon, which is interesting. Ryan Reynolds also has a lot of Scorpio energy in his chart. So Justin, with him, the part of him would be really big on loyalty and trust, but he likes to keep his cards close to his chest a bit and doesn't want to reveal everything to people. But he'd always, because he's also got Mars in Scorpio, he can be quite sharp. And when he does get angry, so when I guess this whole thing is blown up, like anybody would be angry if you've been accused of these sort of accusations, but he would be like seeking revenge. That's why he's brought out all his receipts, because I always say you do not make a person with Mars in Scorpio angry. And I know that Ryan Reynolds also has a Mars in Scorpio, so but Justin does as well. And he's Aquarian, so he'd be like, cut the crap, and then he would be like, okay, they want to see this, let's bring everything out. He's got a Mercury in Capricorn, which is making him very level-headed. The way he thinks is very structured. He would like to have a routine, and has a plan. He would be a person that would need to have a plan in place. The Venus in Sag, so he likes partners. He's be very easygoing when he's in a relationship. Also, he would like to have a partner who's very much fun, flirty, youthful appearance, or very youthful themselves, like to travel, take a risk taker, maybe even an actress or actor he would be attracted to as well. Someone who's very Sagittarius are very like they're people who can't be trapped. They are risk takers, but they're very fun, flirty, social butterflies. But we do say they're the actors and actresses of the zodiac, because it's just how they are. They're pretty people as well. So, so that's what we got with his planet placements here. We can see he's got a lot of sextiles, which is actually quite positive in his chart. Not as much as Blake, but when I saw Blake's chart, she had all those tries, and she's a very lucky person to have a lot of the aspects that she has in her chart. So with him in the second house, his house of earnings and self-worth, he has Pluto, he's got his moon, and he's got Mars all in the second house. With Mars in the second house, it can be a strength. It can be arguments too, but can be a strength. It can also mean that he has a lot of courage and knows how to get what he wants in terms of his career and wanting to, how he's going to earn his money. Now, the moon, these planets are close together. So with these planets that are close together, only a few degrees apart, with the moon and being close to Pluto being close to the moon, it can be like he's during his life be a lot of moves in his life, like moving in houses. It could be there's a lot of change and transformation going on in a home for him throughout his life as well. But also the way he earns his money, a lot of changes. He won't be just doing the same thing for the rest of his life. The way he earns his money is going to be for a lot of different things. It's like this rebirth, like this phoenix energy of rebirth, restarting through how he earns his money. So I haven't done, like, I never do a lot of research when I do these videos. I just like to read the charts, and then people usually fill in the gaps in the comment section on the person, because I like to get stuff intuitively about them as well. So I like to just read the chart. But for him, he have definitely a lot of like relocating in houses, but there could be a lot of transformation in the family or at home and the home as well, which I feel like there is because of what we've got in his fourth house. Also we've got the Mars, which is also close to the moon. So perhaps when he gets angry, he might get quite emotional, even when he gets like this sort of proud moment, maybe he gets a little bit emotional with that. Because the moon is the emotion. Aquarians are emotional people, but having his moon in a water sign would make him a little bit more emotional than your average Aquarian. So your personality changes depending on what the planets are. So Aquarians are quite a strong sign, and even that ascending Virgo probably doesn't like to cry. But having that moon in a water sign would make him probably a bit emotional, and probably doesn't like it, even especially because he's got his Mercury in Capricorn, which is another placement there, which is but not about being emotional. Probably tries to hide if he does. Then in his third house, the house of siblings, we've got Saturn and we've got Uranus here. So Saturn can be the sibling who sort of has a lot of like the burden, or can be a sibling who has a substitute parent, who can be the substitute parent as well, or acts as one. Could also mean that he has problems with his other siblings too. Uranus being in this third house can be like he's like the rebel of the family, or the sibling that's the rebel, but also can be unexpected things can happen with his siblings. So that's what the third house with him. The fourth house, we've got Venus, we've got Neptune, we've got Jupiter, and we've got Mercury all in this fourth house. He'd be a person that would be like thinking a lot also about his family, and also be very most comfortable talking to his family out of anyone else in the world as well. He'd also have luck, like he would have luck growing up with his family, and be quite loving family household growing up as well. But we do have Neptune, and Neptune is quite also close to this Jupiter and to Venus. So it's sort of dissolving the family. So throughout his life, he's got this dissolving energy. So we don't hear much about his father. So there's an energy here where it dissolves the family in some way, whether it be the the parents split up, moving different homes. And again, he's got the other aspect there with the Pluto and the moon. So I dare say for him, he sort of moves around a lot. Also being close to Venus has a dissolve here in relationships and money has that kind of theme throughout his life as well. And maybe he feels like sometimes that his luck sort of just runs out. That could also be something that he feels, with also that Jupiter also being close to that Neptune. But either way, he would have this dissolving energy around the home and the family throughout his life. It can also mean that he's got Neptune can also mean in his house that he has this parent that's like wants to be a perfection, like a sort of a perfect parent, but they can't be relied upon. So one of the parents makes that they're this perfect parent. I kind of feel like I'm given hearing the dad, so maybe this is how his dad is, but his dad they can't be relied upon. So 'cause I feel like his mother's been the more prominent parent for him. He actually sees his mum as as someone who's got either a lot of self-worth for herself or maybe not so much self-worth, but also she'd be like the person, like the breadwinner, the person coming in and making the money. The dad, and also she sees the mum as that Scorpio. So he sees his mum as someone who's very, very, very like trusting, but loyal, but keeps her cards close to her chest at times too. But his dad, he sees as the Aquarian, so he maybe sees his dad as a different dad, different kind of dad. In the fifth house, it could mean also that he sees his dad as a very like childlike, not wanting to grow up, but it also can mean that he has a good relationship with his dad. Um, but also being in an Aquarian, he might see his dad as someone as just that he's sort of awkward or caring but independent, but that different, quirky, that different dad, not that dad that's the typical dad, being in the sun in Aquarius. So when we've got these are all his natal planets. So in his ninth house, we'll get to the transits in a moment. He's got Chiron in the ninth, and it is retrograde. So he holds his pain inside. He's not someone who goes and tells everyone what his problems are. He likes to keep his something stuff that keeps him, I guess he's really painful, his wounds. He likes to not tell people and keeps it more within. But he's also having this in the ninth house. I feel like when I see that, people can sort of see other people's karma um, as well. And I feel like he's also quite understanding of other people in their situations. And I feel like he's also very accommodating of people. I do feel like he's very like a heartfelt kind of person, but at the same time, he means business and he tries to make business like a family too aspect too with him. His life lesson is in the 10th house or cuspy 10th house, also on the MC. So his life lesson, his career is to do his life lesson. It's also in Gemini. So for him, his life lesson is also about networking, socializing, learning a number of different things. He'd be a good person working with young people too. He'd be really good working with youth as well with that. He's and also too the way he earns his money, it's like through justice. Everything has to be in balance, but it's also through like somehow like justice needs to be served, or there needs to be a balance there, or do things for others. So even in his work, I dare say he's going to do a lot of advocacy work, maybe as he gets older as well. He'll do a lot of different things, this man. So those are, or oh yeah, with the sun in the fifth house, he's also very focused on relationships too. Relationships mean a lot to this man as well. So with the transits, okay, so we got coming up. This may not be this year. I didn't check that out, but I should go check it out actually. Pluto's going very close to his sun, and that may be hitting this year. We'll go and have a look in a moment. When that hits his sun, that can mean there's some sort of a big sort of transformation over his life. It does usually mean something does end and a new beginning needs to begin. So there is some sort of like death and transformation energy that's happening around there. So it's almost over his sun. We can just go forward this year and see if it does hit the sun. So maybe this year or could happen next year. He's also got a number of planets in his seventh house. Seventh house is the marriage house. I mean, he's got the sun there, which is quite good. He's very focused, and that helps to bring relationships together. Having Neptune and also we've got Saturn coming into the seventh house. So I dare say the past couple of years there may have been some health issues that he has had, and I am aware that he had a back injury, but that actually should be getting a little bit better now. But Saturn's actually going to come all the way up in conjunct Neptune into right here up to here this year. So relationships going to get tough for him this year and tougher. It's already been a bit tough. Look, having Neptune here, it could mean a dissolve in relationships. Well, we've seen that now with Black Lively and stuff. So that's what that planet is doing. It could also mean to do with personal relationships, we have to see. But that's what Neptune does. It dissolves. When it's in a seventh house, relationship house, it dissolves relationships. But he's going to get even more problems with people with having this Saturn energy already there, and it's going to be there for a couple of years yet. Uh, March is going to be interesting time for him because he's going to have Venus retrograding in this house plus Mercury. He's also going to have the solar eclipse. We're going to hit in this house too. In March will be relationships for him. March may be a bit rocky for Justin. Okay, in the eighth house, a house of money from other people. Let's get rid of this ad. Um, Chiron in this eighth house, it's money problems with money. So basically, money's getting a bit tight. It's sort of pain, or we say pain. So, lending money out to people is not a good idea. Like he's got this court case. It's like, so it's causing him a little bit distress, pain. That's what it does. Um, and then we've got Uranus in this ninth house. You're looking at through this transit, it's going to be there for a while, a few more years yet. The same with the Chiron in the eighth. But I dare say with this Uranus in the ninth, there can be unexpected travel. He might also wanting to learn something unusual, something different. He may want to learn more about spirituality could come up for him. Now Chiron will be coming over. So Uranus will be coming over Chiron this year. It comes over in May, directly hits. Then Uranus is going to, I'll show you in the transits, but then Uranus will come over into Gemini this year. It will then come back over in December and hit Chiron again. February next year, it's going to still be around it. So he's going to have unexpected pain come up with him this year, coming into next year as well. However, there was the Jupiter is always a planet of luck. So even for him, if I get back to that fourth house there with those planets there, I forgot to mention, I know I'm going backwards and forwards a little bit, but just stay with me. Mercury, Jupiter, he has luck with the family, but that Venus there, he'd be someone when you're walking to his house is decorated very nicely. You'd like to have his house, all different things on his house and be decorated very nicely as well. But his luck in his natal chart is the fourth house. As a transit, it's going to go through the 10th house here, and it's going to be in March. So March, Jupiter comes through this 10th house, and it's going to be there for about a year. And that's his career. So his career is going to take off. His career is going to get better. So in terms of this, we'll look at the other charts again. I kind of feel what's going to happen, but for his career, is going to take off after March. And it's got roughly a whole year of it being in there, maybe even be more than a year. So he is going to have some good things happen to him in terms of his work. It's coming up. Next year, it'll be more about his friends. He'll meet new people, be more social. So when it comes in there next year, but he's got these other aspects. Let's just have a look at that Pluto. So we'll go. Let me just move me out of the way. There we go. If I just move it up a few months, we'll go to June. Let's have a look and see what's happening in June. As I said, Jupiter's already in that 10th house then. By then, it always comes up at the moment. We've got as I said before, with the Uranus and Chiron, that conjunction there with those two planets. That Pluto. So I dare say before June, okay, it is going to go very close. We'll hit that sun next year, probably hit it more next year. So that transit may happen next year. When the transits happen, things can happen just before it hits the planet, or when it's directly over the planet, or when it's sort of leaving the planet. So there will be something. It could be a relationship, an ending of a relationship. It even could be someone around him. It could say pass away. What could it be as well? I find it could be ending of a job, but there's some sort of ending. But it's like a transformation. It's like a phoenix. There's something you get out of it. The same transit. So that is his chart. Let's go to the others as well now. So I'll just stop sharing and I'll bring up Blake's chart. Okay, so this is Blake Lively's chart. So she had a lot of good, all these planets in his first house. She's actually very, very lucky. Of those. Having those conjunction, having the Mars, the Sun, Venus, all conjunct there together. It's very, very lucky. So I would have pointed out in my last video on her. And all these tries, very lucky. Very, very lucky person to have that too. So I said things will just work out for her. However, she's going through a bit of a moment at the moment. So I've still got it on that in that June, the transits here. So she had at the moment, she's got, if I just go back to now, she has had her Jupiter in her 10th house. It's on the way out now. So she's had her luck. So this movie was her big comeback. It was that Jupiter in 10th house. It's leaving there. It's going to be out next month. It's coming out of that house. It's going into the 11th house. So she'll be more social this year and she will meet new people, meet new friends. Jupiter will, so when we're about getting late into early June, Jupiter will hit the Chiron. That's luck with a painful issue. It's going to come up for her. She does have Uranus in the 10th, which is going to be unexpected things in the career that's going to happen to her. Like maybe all this whole thing has blown up, could be unexpected for her. That's going to be there for at least another 5 years. 5 years, I'm estimating. But she's got this Neptune and Saturn, and at the moment, Saturn's also been hitting opposing these planets here. So when we get to that June energy and middle of the year, June energy, month of June, sorry. Saturn will conjunct Neptune in Aries here in his 8th house. So there's more money, even though he had the Chiron in the 8th house, she's got Neptune and Saturn. So she's gonna have like double trouble, and they're conjuncting in that house. She's the one that's gonna lose out here with the money, is what I feel for this. And as I said, with her 5th house, relationships for her are not the best either, even though she's got all these tries of Venus, which is she's very lucky to have all those tries, and that does help her when it comes to love and also money too. They said that she'll be a person that things just work out for, even though she still go through her troubles. We all go through our problems. I dare say she will have at some stage some kind of comeback. But at the moment, I feel like it's going to be egg on her face with this, with her pursuing this. I don't feel like it's her. She has a lot of Virgo energy, so she's very much picky, perfectionist, likes things done, very detail-orientated person, all this Virgo energy. She probably overthink things too much and she probably freaks out. I guess she might even get like anxiety or panic attacks too with all this Virgo energy because she'd be like constantly freaking out at the moment, thinking, oh my God, what's happening? Um, and I kind of feel like where we're going with this, people are sort of pointing the finger at Ryan Reynolds, and I'm going to say I have liked his movies. I'm a bit of a fan, but he would be the one pushing this, not her. She would be more with all these planets, and especially these conjunctions. She'd be more of that sort of happy-go-lucky person. And yes, we've seen attitude from her. She's very confident in herself with that Mars, and she actually will be feisty and probably has temper as well, even though it is in Virgo, it's in the 1st house. So a little bit sassy she would be. And that's why we see those videos of her in past interviews where she hasn't been maybe the nicest person. This gives her, she's got this confidence about her. Okay. And also with that Mars, with that Sun conjunction it's a bit I call it sassy. People have that, they're a bit sassy. With Mars in the 1st house, it's sassy, but it's conjunct with the sun. So she just sort of she comes out more, she stands out. Okay. Plus you got that Mercury there, Venus there, so that's why she's sort of been a little bit not nice. I'll say that. But anyways, because of this Virgo energy, I dare say she probably does have panic attacks and she probably does overthink things as well. But she has this attitude about her that sort of oozes out because the 1st house, so the 1st house, it's you, your body, you sort of come out. But anyway, with this money bit here and this Uranus up here, anything can happen with Uranus, and no matter where it is in the chart. So for her, anything can happen with her career. As I said, she had a big comeback with his Jupiter, but there's more money issues coming up her way. Health, she may have some health issues as well for her. Pluto in the sixth, there could be some health issues that come up for her as well. And there could be serious health issues too. That's what Prince Charles has the Pluto in his sixth, same as Catherine, Princess of Wales, has also Pluto in her sixth house, too. And there's someone else. You can have some health issues that can come bring up with the Pluto in the sixth. Okay, so that's Blake Lively's charts, and then we'll go to Ryan Reynolds' chart. So I will stop sharing and I'll bring up his chart. Ads. All right, so this is Ryan Reynolds' chart that I have. Yeah, a lot of Scorpio energy. I've had clients before who have a lot of Scorpio energy. People who have a lot of planets in Scorpio placements, they can get very jealous. And they can get very pushy as well. So dare say in their relationship, it's very much pushy. He'd be the one driving this. And I said, I also liked his movies. I am a fan, but when I saw his chart, I was like, oh, Scorpio energy. For me, someone I probably wouldn't be going out with, just personally. Because we've got the sun, and he's also got ascending Virgo, so that helps him blend with actually with Blake, the Virgo there. But Moon, Sun, Scorpio. He's got Mars, Scorpio. Plus we got Uranus, Scorpio. And his node also in Scorpio. So much going on in his second house here. And we've got conjunctions as well, which is why I went over when I did the other video as well. That he would be the driving force this because he sort of loses his mind here. We're going on like I won't say mental health, but like his Mercury in Libra does save him and does bring him down to earth and make him think a little bit more irrational than irrational. But he, and I think that what we see with that, the Venus in his Venus in Sag really shines out that playfulness with him. But he would be someone that can be quite revengeful, quite sulky, and jealous as well. And I feel like, and not only that, we've got opposition here with this Chiron in the eighth coming from these planets here. And then he's got transit Chiron coming into this year, coming into this eighth house. So I said in my other video that him and Blake have both got money issues coming up. At the moment, it's more her than him, but he is starting to have money issues. He has unexpected luck coming up for him around June. So interesting. He's actually going to have his career's going to take off. It already is taken off, but he's got something else coming up this year as well, into next year too. So Jupiter's coming into his 10th house. I just see them, like I said in my yearly predictions, and this is before this stuff came out, I said that Blake and Ryan's popularity was going down. I could see that. Just when I tuned in to see what was happening if for 225 in my yearly predictions. But this will bring their down. At the moment, I feel like people are picking up on him, but he's this like nice guy. So he doesn't have that many. Oops, he doesn't have a lot going on here. Some, but not a lot going on down here. But Blake is going to have egg on her face. I feel like with what's happening in her chart, I just feel like they're going to settle. And this is going to, I feel like this will also make an impact on their relationship, the cracks forming, because he's going to have that Saturn-Neptune conjunction in his seventh house, the house of marriage. It's going to be, it could be business partners as well, but this is the house of marriage, and they're going to conjunct in this seventh house. So I feel like we're going to see some cracks forming. I don't feel, as I said in that other chart, just from her natal planets, and then we've got what his transits coming up. I don't think we're going to see them together forever. I feel like there will be a breakup coming up for them, just with his transits. Things are going to get tough for them. And I just feel like this is going to be like writing on the wall, cracks forming. And I feel like, look, with what's in her chart, I feel like she would use, if this does break up, she'll use this to her advantage as well. That's what I feel. But yeah, Ryan's gonna have some good luck in his career. So that's what I got in his chart. I won't go through his whole chart again because I already did that in the other video as well. Um, so I think that's it. There would be some health issues that he's had as well last couple of years too. Would have had some. He had problems with friends. Friends don't always stick around with him, which is interesting as well. And I dare say in relationships, Justin Baldoni has they have the same thing. He'd probably be a bit of a victim in relationship too. I think he probably blames Blake and would be trying to be the victim, but he has this nice guy energy about him as well, how he loves to as well. So he's got the Venus in Sag and he's going out with Blake Lively, who's an actress. He's going out with every actress. Um, so yeah, it's that Sagittarius. Okay, so I'll stop sharing. So with this, I feel like they'll settle. I feel like that I want to say no one's a winner, but I just feel like if I'm going to say someone's a winner, I'm going to say the person who's going to come out the best will be Justin. I feel like that is kind of pushed big from Ryan with all that Scorpio energy he's got. And I do feel like he could be a very jealous person as well. So people what they're sort of saying, I do feel like we can see that from the chart that that would be correct with the energy that he's got there. But I do feel like it's like this is going to be the beginning of the end for their relationship. 'Cause I feel like cracks are going to start forming. And as I said, we've got those conjunctions coming up this year. It's going to be a tough year for relationships for him coming up. For her, there's money to be lost for her. So because she's got the more planets in that eighth house. Um, but I feel like it's just gonna settle. That's what I feel. I feel like that they're going to try and push an agenda, but it's not going to work. I feel like there's going to be a lot of backpedaling coming up from the Blake and Ryan camp. And I feel like with Ryan, I don't think he's going to talk about it. I think he's going to keep it under wraps, not talk about it, let it play out as it is. And I feel like he even might throw Blake under the bus a little bit here. Um, is what I feel like may happen as well. But I kind of feel like it's the beginning to the end of their relationship. And as I said in Blake's chart, things for her will eventually just work out. And I dare say she'll have a comeback at some point probably in a few years when she probably goes into her second house, which is her house of earnings. She'll get a pay rise. But as I said, she will come back from this, and I said in my other video. But that's what I kind of feel like is going to happen, and that's what's in his chart as well. So I hope you've enjoyed my video. So please put your comments down. I'm not going to do any cards today because I feel like that's what's going to happen as well. But I do feel like that Justin's a genuine guy, and I do feel like he's caring, and I feel like he's got more evidence too. I feel like he's got like a whole book or a whole lot of evidence here, and I feel like he's got more than what the other side do have as well. And I do feel like once everything gets pushed through, I think that Ryan wants to save face here, but I feel like he's going to push like under the bus and maybe even like just, I don't know, he's got Jupiter in 10th house. So something's coming out, either a new movie or he's going to be working on a movie that's he's enjoying. Maybe there's going to be like a promotion for a new movie, perhaps it could be coming out, but I just see him sort of throwing her under the bus a bit and her being more the face of the blame, and he's going to try and look good to save his face and his position in Hollywood. But I feel like Justin's got some really good stuff. I feel like he has a new movie coming out or going to have another movie coming out, and I feel like he's at the moment more the favorable one, like sort of like the golden guy. I feel like he's sort of going to start climbing the ladder over the next year as well. So that's what I get. So please put in the comments if you want me to do any other videos on who you would like me to do. Please put it in the comment section below. Thank you for your likes, shares, and your comments, and I will see you for my next video. So bye for now.